Hey, what up guys? Another video entry here about the Endless Saga, which is the manual transmission swap on this 2006 RX8. If you've been following my channel, you know that I took the 6-speed manual and 6-port Renesas 13B out of that car and put it into this car, which was a factory auto. And I took all the crap out of there and I chucked it down there out of my life. So I've been having a ton of problems with this conversion, as you can imagine. Most of it's plug and play, but there's just so many little niggly bits. Had a problem with the immobilizer. I've done a whole video about that. If you're interested, have a look. Today, brand new problem. So the car is still up on stands. I haven't done the suspension yet, so I can't be bothered dropping it down. But that means that I've never had really a reason to put the car into gear because it's off the ground. Why would you need to put it into gear while it's off the ground? While it was warming up today, because I was heat cycling the engine again, I decided to throw it into first and put the clutch in and put it into first gear. And immediately, as soon as I put it into gear, suddenly the RPM spiked up. I didn't touch the accelerator. It just did it. And I tried second and third and fourth, all the gears, including reverse, and the RPM would spike. And then as soon as I put it back to neutral, it would just go back to idling as normal, which was really weird. So it got me thinking, right, it must be something to do with the neutral switch, because there's a neutral switch on this car. So the car knows and the PCM knows when the vehicle is in neutral, which also made me think, does the vehicle need to know when the clutch is engaged as well, in order to figure something out? And it turns out it does need to know that. So there's a switch right here called the clutch pedal position switch, which is a normally open switch, and it closes when you depress the clutch pedal. It comes into the harness for the PCM right here as a violet wire. And funnily enough, it's the same color, which is great. I love it when harnesses are the same color all the way back to the computer. Problem was, other than the engine harness, the cabin harness for this car is still the auto one. So when I pulled the harness out the back of the PCM, there was no pin. There was no line. This didn't exist. And that's obviously an issue. Now, I haven't tested this yet, but what I have gone and done, you see this lovely little purple wire sticking up here. I've actually pinned this into the plug. So I actually had to mutilate a plug to do this. Fortunately for me, I got an RX8 I'm getting rid of. So I've just completely destroyed this thing. So I pulled the pin out of this and I've chucked it into this. Now it's actually pretty easy. There's just a little clip on the plug that pops up and you can put new pins in, which is fantastic. You can't pull them out, funnily enough, hence why that is mangled, but you can put new pins in. So I've pinned that, and now I've got this violet wire sticking up here, which potentially, if I ground it, according to this diagram, which shows that the other side of the switch goes to chassis ground, should, in theory, tell it that the clutch has been engaged, or rather the pedal has been depressed, rather. So I haven't tested it, but I have finished doing it tonight. It's like 11 o'clock, so I'm not going to start the car up and warm it up and do all that crap again. But I think this might have fixed it. So if you are stupid enough like me to do a manual conversion on an auto, my advice is don't. But if you do, there's a ton of stuff you got to unstuff to make this all work. That's one of the things. If you're reading the forum posts, a fantastic guy who helped me out a ton just by putting this stuff up on an RX8 forum spoke about how he ran the switch, because the starter doesn't work, and I talked about that in my other video. He runs that through from the ignition through the clutch switch, out of the clutch switch, and then down to the starter. I didn't do that. I ran mine into the fuse box, so I've got another line that runs from there all the way around the back of the engine into here and plugs into the starter relay. So when I turn the key, starter relay works. Loving it. But this clutch problem, so we'll see. With a bit of luck, this will fix the problem, and I'll post another update when I know if that's the go. Until then, guys, questions, comments, throw them in the comments section, and if I'm still keeping up to date with this thread by the time you post something, then yeah, I'll be more than happy to answer them. All right, peace out.